Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy GrandmastaJ, and today you hear the jazz, you know what time it is. It is time for some replay reviews. So today we have a floor 9 Baiken player who actually submitted a replay to me through Metafee. If you're interested in coaching yourself, you can check through the description below. But they submitted this, and so I was able to look at it. I was even able to provide them notes. And today we're going to kind of go through the match and see what they kind of struggled with. So this is a floor 9 Baiken versus a Johnny player. See kind of what they were struggling with, kind of what they wanted to improve on. Some things that, you know, they could have been doing here and there and all around. You know, we know the drill at this point. Let's get into it. Okay, boom. We got Johnny versus Baiken. All right, hold on. Let me move my face over, scooch it over, get this thing popping. Hold on now. All right, there we go. Duel 1, Duel Uno. So, round start. You know I like my round starts, all right? Let's check it out. Round start backdash, okay? Now, backdash is okay if you're trying to bait like a 2S or trying to bait like a 5S or something like that, right? But in terms of this, like, you got clipped, you know, and sometimes you get clipped. That's okay. Not gonna chat. Not, you know, not much to say there. All right. Throws out card. All right. Card goes. You press 2H. Actually catch him out the air. Now this is an interesting thing, right? So the close slash for Baiken. Baiken's close slash as an anti-air is not that great. It works out here, but we're gonna kind of see where in different areas where it doesn't really work out. But it works out here. Whatever. Who can say, right? They burst out completely fine. Now you jump here, that's fine. You get blocked, or I'm sorry, you block card, you get knocked down because after this Johnny block string, you kind of get clipped low. Now I'm not sure if that was it definitely wasn't a counter hit because of the counter hit state, but getting clipped low here is interesting because Johnny doesn't really have meter, right? So I'm not sure exactly what you were trying to do. Maybe you were trying to bait the Mistfinder like cancel or something like that. But even at this distance, Johnny, as you can see, can let it rip pretty safely without any like cause for concern. And now, like, all that momentum that you could have had where Johnny like could have either had to try to back up or Johnny could have dashed forward is gone because now you're knocked down and now you have to eat a mix, right? Johnny throws card. You try to backdash the card. Backdashing the card is not a great idea, as you can see, because the hitbox of the card is just so gosh darn large. So get caught. Okay, you burst out. This is a fine burst. Now here's the thing, okay? This is one of the things that I've noticed, right? You burst and then do nothing. You proceed to do nothing. You're kind of shimmying around and you just get hit by Johnny, right? You should be moving because a couple of things. You're in the corner, right? You're basically close to the corner. Now you got hit. Now you're in the corner, right? And you've already created space. You've created space. You've created a knockdown situation, right? Baiken has a lot of good approach options to stop a horizontal approach, or at the very least make Johnny kind of like guess where your approach is going to be. You could have either like we're pulling out the marker for this one. Could have either jumped, right? Jump air dash into S, right? Baiken's S button goes like really fudging far, right? Or kind of like dash up 2S, right? 2S to control some space here, right? Or something that I did not see the entire set, which is just use Kabaddi, right? Oh gosh, why the frick did it? Use Kabaddi, right? Baiken's Kabaddi claw goes like pretty darn far. It's pretty darn active, and you can use the follow-up regardless of, hold on, whoop. And you can use the follow-up regardless of whether or not the Kabaddi actually hits, right? Which covers even more horizontal space. But instead, you let Johnny sort of like just dash back in at you. Right? You also don't really try to 6P Johnny a lot. Now, Johnny is pretty gosh darn weak to 6P because his best buttons is like far slash and Mistfinder. Those actually lose to 6P. They're kind of balanced in a way where it's like they go very far, but they do lose to 6P. So I would have loved to see more 6P in this match overall. But overall, now you're in the corner. That must have been a misinput. I guarantee you that must have been a misinput because why the fuck are you using that move, right? Yeah, I don't know what that is. Maybe you try to air dash into it or something like that. Even then, it would have not really been a great idea because the card is out. The card has a hitbox of like Kingdom Come, right? You get hit. He breaks the wall, right? He supers you. I don't even know if this kills. Baiken does not have the greatest health. right. Baiken's a little tanky. Here we go. You're blocking. Nice parry. Interesting parry. Now, I don't know if it was a great parry, but it worked out. So, who am I to complain? Now, okay, this is a bit of an issue, right? So, after this, you should be dashing up, right? Now, you tried to dash up. Your dash is not that clean. You kind of do far slash into 2H into tatami mat. It works out. You miss the air dash, right? And then Johnny kind of like, you know, it gets scrambly, all right? Then you do this. Now, 5 slash into 2H into RC. It kind of serves no purpose. Then you go for overhead kabari or overhead Yozansen, which like without meter is super risky. I would have loved to see after the 2H either delay tatami or what is it, kabari into kabari mix, because you have 50 meter, so you can kind of run a mix on them, right? Or even blue wild assault, right? Blue wild assault is a little bit absent here during the set. Now, of course, I'm kind of speaking in terms of like foresight because I've saw the replay already, so I kind of already know what to expect. But yeah, that's one of the examples of the situation where, you know, 5S, 2S, it's okay, like you go for the tatami mat there, but I'm still not seeing a lot of kabari, right? Johnny gets a jump in, and now this jump in is problematic because you're not really looking out for a lot of anti-airs, right? Not necessarily not looking out for them, but Johnny's air dashing, and Johnny's air dash buttons are pretty slow. This should have been an easy 6P, right? An easy 6P right here. And you being in floor 9, you're like on the cusp of like floor 10 into Celestial. So I'm going to start expecting a lot more of these sort of like minor habits that like you just need to have nailed down at this point, right? If somebody air dashes at you, you should be ready to 6P them, right? That doesn't happen. They jump in on you. You try to counter press a button, which is not very smart. He drops the combo. Okay. Things get really scrambled. You get a throw here. Okay, you get a throw. All right, you bait the super, right? You don't give him a chance to RC with the Yozansen, so that was pretty good. You dash away. You try to throw him. You try to air throw him, and then you die. Okay, let's talk about it. So, right, you block that. All right, now this is dangerous. Usually Mist Finder is minus 15, right? But at this space, at this range, it's minus 15 with a huge asterisk. Johnny still controls like so much space right here that Baiken and her stubby little buttons can't really like try to get in. You should be trying to either air dash out, because Johnny is not shown to ever try to cover this space. You haven't given him a reason to try to cover this space. So I would have loved to see like either an air dash out with a jump S or something like that, or even like some sort of like dash up wait or dash up 6P would have been really good here, right? Johnny air dashes. You RC for no reason, but it works out because you're able to freeze the screen. You do have the recognition that Johnny's got 100 meter, right? So Johnny's super dangerous, okay? So this jump is very good. Very random, but it works out. Now, I don't know what the backdash was about, but like I'm not too sure what the backdash is about, because when you go back for this run-up throw, it's not even like you're trying to bait his super anyway, because you were just going to commit to the run-up throw. So I'm a little on the fence as to what the situation was there. I would have loved to see you knock people down. I would love to see you try to go for more like meaty close slashes or meaty 2Ks or 5Ks into maybe a tick throw, right? Whatever, right? That could have worked in this situation. It doesn't work out after you whip the throw now, right? So you whip the throw, fine, whatever. It is what it is. I would have loved to see you use 6P, because now Johnny kind of frantically jumped in the air and he's coming down with a button. If you 6P'd him right here, you could have hit him. You could have killed him, right? That could have been the game. But you instead go for an air throw. Now, air throw after throw is not great, because throw in general just has a lot of recovery, like so much recovery. So using 6P, you would have used your upper body invul to close out that round. Okay, we're gonna kind of hammer through the other 2 rounds, because I noticed it's already been like 9 minutes and we have only talked about 1. So backdash here again, it's fine, it works out. No 6P, you go for like a far slash anti-air, which again, I'm not super like happy about. And now when you block the Mist Finder, this is another thing I noticed. When you block the misfire, you don't try to contest him, right? Johnny has no meter. This is where awareness comes in. Johnny has no meter. You should be doing like run up 5S. Now, unfortunately, you're playing Baiken, and Baiken she's not really able to get a great punish from this situation. But even something as small as like run up 5K 2K, or run up 5K 6K into tatami mat, or run up far slash into kabaddi mix or something like that, or even run up throw, something like that. I would have loved to see 2H, which is crazy. This is actually kind of crazy. I didn't realize this till I did my research. 2H actually does not hit here because 2H is too slow. It is 2 frames too slow, which is kind of unfortunate because that would have been a really nice punish. But unfortunately, you know, you got to do what you got to do. But the aggression is not there, right? You back up, right? It kind of works out. Go for a tatami mat, but again, like right here, especially in this situation, I would have loved to see a kabaddi, right? Works out. You get a hit, you get a confirm, right? You use blue wild assault for the confirm, that's fine, but then you don't go for a safe jump, right? This would have been a great spot to go for a safe jump because you have 50 meter, right? So you could have safe jumped him, done Yozansen mix, and Johnny doesn't have that much health. You could have put him in a 2-touch situation. That doesn't end up happening. You use kabaddi in a very weird spot, using far slash, kind of dancing around. Far slash into RC, it works. Maybe that's just what Baiken gotta do, right? It works, right? You drop this combo, which is fine. Like, Baiken has some consistency issues, so that's fine. I honestly would have thought it would have worked too. You go for jump S. I would have liked to see either a jump throw, which I know you're capable of doing. Go for a jump S. It gets really scrambly. Johnny throws card, right? You're blocking. Now, this is okay to respect because Johnny's got meter, right? Johnny's got meter. This is okay to respect, but when I say respect, I would have loved to see you like jump out, right? So in this situation, you know Johnny's got meter. I would have loved to see you backdash away, right? Actually, do they backdash away? You backdash slowly away. I would love to see you backdash a little faster out of block stun, right? Because you get clipped because of it. Now you're in the corner, right? Johnny throws out card. This is kind of his realm. You get a punish because he's throwing card. But what's interesting is that I'm not sure if this was nerves or what. You delay the 2S into 2H. You have to really commit to these kinds of things, especially as Baiken, because that was literally like one of the only like 5 scenarios, or I'm sorry, like 2 scenarios of which 2S into close into 2H actually combos. And so for you to drop that, like, that was the round, right? That was literally the round right there. Doesn't work out. You get smacked back into the corner, right? You punish that. That's cool. You don't bait the burst. That's fine. And you get this jump in. All right? Cool. Last round. What's the round start? 2S. Not a good one, especially not against Johnny. Johnny's buttons are way too fast. If Johnny pressed 2S or 5S, you just would have gotten smoked, my brother. Blocking. Tries to parry. Parry's just not good in this matchup overall. Okay, it worked out in that situation, but parry's just not good, except as a wake-up option, just because Johnny's space can be so, like, unorthodox, and he can delay his timings and stuff like that, and then he gets big punishes, right? So now you're just in the corner getting hit, right? You're just getting hit. You're blocking. There's not much you can do. You get RC'd. Okay, this is fine. All right. Now that's an issue right there, okay? So the use of blue wild assault is okay, right? But you got to know your confirms. You either need to be able to confirm this, or one thing, my bad. One thing I never saw you do is to go into the S kabaddi, which is the tether, right? You never really go into S kabaddi at all in this matchup. I'm not sure if that's if it was just unique to this matchup or not, but that is Baiken's thing, right? That is her whole thing. Never once in this match do you really go for S kabaddi. Right, you jump away, but like this is you don't try to punish, but he's got meter, so it's okay. But he also has not really shown that he knows how to use his meter that well, so you should really start to try to punish those a bit faster, right? You're pressuring. Now again, here we go, we got the 5S into 2H RC, right? It doesn't really accomplish anything, right? So now you're blocking, you're away. I would have loved to see 6P there. I don't even know if 6P would have worked, but just the habit of 6Ping, you should really get used to. And then you backdash away and you get hit. Now, even like in this situation, right? Waking up, you could be 6P in here. You should be 6P Johnny. way more. So with that being said, let's go into the notes that I actually written up for this feller. All right, Amir. So I made some notes. All right, we're just gonna go through them and kind of hop into training mode right here to kind of show off like some of what I mean, right? So one thing I noticed, no Kabaddi in neutral, right? As I mentioned before, you didn't really use Kabaddi a lot. Kabaddi is one of Baiken's best tools. That is one of her most standout tools in general because it covers such a great horizontal space. And Johnny is a horizontal character, right? He's a character that doesn't necessarily benefit from doing air dashes a lot, right? Sure, he could, but like you never gave him a reason to do so. So Johnny was kind of able to freely dash in and out of your space. Seems scared to approach. This is something that I also noticed is that you didn't really try to do like run up buttons. Like Baiken is good at honestly two things: mixing you up and throwing out some big swingy buttons. Okay, and you didn't really do that in this matchup, right? Jump S, right? So as I was saying, like you also didn't really utilize jump S at all, kind of in this matchup. Like for example, if you're here as Baiken, right? You want to be able to dash, whoops, wrong one. You want to be able to do dash jump S a lot because even from like a space like this, right, you're able to control so much FUD in space. Even just mixing up these options, like look at how far Kabaddi goes, right? This is a whole person's length away. If you do that into RC, I'm not a Baiken player, but you guys get the idea. You're in the money, right? So that's another thing. Okay. You have to use 6P way more in general, so not even just against Johnny, but just in general. You haven't really used 6P as an anti-air or even as a grounded poke. 6P is just a good grounded poke. Unfortunately, this is 6P, the fighting game, right? If somebody, especially a character like Johnny, who utilizes a lot of mids, you have to be able to 6P them to at least check them and to at least give them, to force them to make other decisions, right? Okay. 5S 2 HRC is a waste of meter. Yeah, so this is one that I found a little interesting, which is that I'm not sure what the situation was that you were doing this a lot, right? But this is just a waste of meter. This doesn't accomplish anything, right? It's much better suited to either go into delay tatami mat or Kabaddi into either let it rip, or you could do Kabaddi into like, you know, the cross under, right? Or you can go straight into throw after the Kabaddi, right? So like there's some things that like didn't really, this just doesn't accomplish anything. That's all I have to say about that. It just doesn't accomplish anything. So as I was mentioning with Kabaddi, right? I would love to see you use it more. And also, if you don't really know how to use it that effectively, you can go through these options, which is like Kabaddi, what is it? Kabaddi 2K, 6K, right? That's a pretty common one. That's pretty good, right? It's just powerful, right? Because you can also go for the let it rip, which is just to go straight for the frame trap, or you can do Kabaddi throw, right? This one's also pretty good. Kabaddi parry is actually really funny because if your opponent tries to catch you doing Kabaddi into this or Kabaddi into throw, right? You can actually do Kabaddi into parry to actually catch them trying to get a little cheeky, right? Which is another layer of cheeky. And also, yeah, so I was also talking about Kabaddi into the like alternative, whatever the frick, the pass through. It works sometimes. I would suggest using this a little less unless you really tell your opponent to do it, and like you've really not been doing it that often. Working on your safe jumps after tatami, right? So not just after tatami, but after Kabaddi. I noticed that an issue was that, say you get a hit like this, right? You're not going for, whoops, apparently I'm not going for it either. You're not going for any safe jumps, right? Which is kind of an issue because this is how Baiken wins, right? This is her best situation that she can get, right? Whoops, I fudged it up because I'm not a Baiken player. You guys get the idea. Hold on. Nope, I'm gonna do this. There we go. Like these are the situations that Baiken needs to win, right? So the fact that you were dropping it so often, you're just leaving pressure on the table. Okay. Using Blue Wild Assault to get on rope, tether, whatever you want to call it, right? Kabaddi S, right? This was never to be seen. This is just so strong. Even just something like this is just super powerful because you can do this. Whoops, hold on. You can do this. Jab into freaking throw. into combo, right? Like that was just not seen at all, right? Tether is just Baiken's like #1. This is how she wins, right? And so like to not utilize your resource to get your win condition, which Baiken's win condition, remember, is like this is her win condition. This and also like knocking your opponent down. I'm gonna just use this for brevity situation, whatever. Knocking your opponent down. Those are her 2 win conditions, right? So utilizing Blue Wild Assault instead of using it for some like mundane block string continuations, right? That doesn't accomplish anything. Use it for something more productive, like going straight into string. Like this is a true block string. That is what makes it strong. This is true for a reason, right? They gave you that tool. That is the one of the most standout tools that Baiken can have. Okay, so Johnny specific stuff. Just 6Ping Johnny way more. I already went over this, right? Johnny. He's a character that just loses to 6P, so I would love to see it more. Do not respect Misfinder. So Misfinder is -15 on block, and the example I gave was like, I was just doing like run up 5S or run up throw or run up 5K into 6K or something like that. If Johnny, hold on, let me see if I got, there we go. If Johnny, like from a close range, does this, you can kind of, now again, you're playing Baiken, so it's a little unfortunate, right? You can kind of do like a punish, even something like that. That work? Hold on. It's range specific, but there we go. Even something like that could have been very, very useful to you, right? Now, again, you're playing Baiken, unfortunate. Like this, it would be really nice if this works, but it doesn't. So, you know, is what it is. But yeah, but respecting Misfinder too much puts you in a lot of bad situations, right? But again, be patient and wait for Misfinder. I was noticing that you were getting clipped by Misfinder a couple of times, which when Johnny does not have meter, right, you need to be aware of that and kind of be patient to not get like frame trap Misfinder so that you can actually run your pressure after blocking it, right? So a couple of training suggestions I gave them. I said practice using instant air dashes, save jumps after tatami knockdown, right? Set the dummy to DP on wake up, like Soleo or Kai. Do 5K, 6K into tatami, and then do instant air dash into tatami or 5H. If you get hit by the DP, you're doing it wrong. That's pretty self-explanatory. Practice doing 5K or 5S into Yozansen. This is another thing I just did not see as Baiken, or as you playing Baiken, which is something like this, right? Or, whoopsie. Like, I just did not see that at all, right? Boom! Whoop. Now, that's the fancy one, right? Hey, your boy knows a little something or two, okay? But, yeah, like, even when you pressured them, right? This is why doing, like, meaties is so important, because now you can put them in much more damaging situations. So, I would love to see that more. Practice doing that as well. In matches, practice 6Ping jumps, right? If you see an instant air dash sigil, practice 6Ping it, right? Baiken doesn't have the best 6P confirms, but again, that's just the character of choice, is what it is, right? Use Kabaddi more in neutral, use S Kabaddi in block strings, right? You didn't even try to go for like a cheeky Kabaddi, which is like something like this, right? Or something like this, right? Like those things could just like catch your opponent off guard and then just put you in a situation like that, right? Use Blue Wild Assault in the S Kabaddi, right? That's kind of the idea. And of course, most of all, have fun. It's just a game and growth is supposed to be fun. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. A bit of a long one. Your boy's a bit of a yapper today. Is what it is, huh? Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the content, please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, all that hoopity hobla. If you're interested in coaching yourself, please check out the link down below. And if you have any questions, you can hit me up on Discord or in the YouTube comment section below. I will be sure to get back to you when I can. As always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.